lựa thương theo khổ lựa thương theo khổว่าถอยเลยแม่งเมืองเหล่าสิว่าเลือหล่อจำอย่าปากว่าเลือจะเห่าแซ่เลือเทวอ่ะว่าถอยเลือเลือแม่งเกี้ยวว่าละมวยห่อนะอังหม้อหรือบ่อย
做咩可聽我嘅歌？可能
ว่าจ่อเซ็งแซ่ซาจับหัวมีไก่วงห้วย
So you're probably sitting there wondering, why the heck am I struggling to grow my trading account? So in this video, guys, we're going to address something extremely crucial. It is so crucial that I want to take a few minutes, put together this short video that a lot of you guys can definitely benefit from. So the number one killer of all trading accounts, guys, the depth, the root of all evil is that you focus too much on the fucking money. That's the problem. And here's what I mean by that. Let me bring some light to the equation. So it doesn't matter where your account is. Let me show you exactly what most of the traders are going through. So here's a typical trader with an account of under 25K. Let's say you got 4K. Let's say you got 8K in there. And all year long, you're sitting there thinking, oh man, I wish I could just get my account to 25K. I mean, if I just had my account at 25K, oh boy, oh man, then I can really do it, man. If I only had a 25K account, bullshit, okay? That's exactly why you still don't have the 25K account, because you're just so mesmerized by this magic number, 25. Your whole focus is going into how to get your account to 25. Now, here's why it is so fucked up, okay? It has a fundamental flaw. Now, the root of why every trader wants to have at least a 25K account is why? It's so that you can day trade as much as you want. Well, that is, we just identified the fundamental flaw with that sort of thinking, okay? Because more trades, write this down somewhere, put it on your fridge, damn it. More trades does not equate to more money. So just because you're going to get to 25K, okay, all of a sudden you're going to start trading like a crazy man just because you can, and now you have the ability to do so, does not mean that you're going to make more money. As a matter of fact, some of my top trades is on the days when I trade less, not more. Yes, there are certain instances, for example, when we identify a solid move 3 formation where you can short every bounce and you can have a ratio of 90-95% probability of getting all your trades right on such an occasion. Now, a move 3, solid move 3 is not going to happen on every day. So for the majority of the time, you want to trade less. And just like some of the greatest trades we've picked this week, they were not day trades, guys. They were swing trades, keeping the positions overnight, which a lot of traders are fearful to do, and which takes me to the next stop of trader, okay? And that is the trader that's got the 25K account. And here's the worst part. If you have exactly 25K in your account, you're driven by fear. You are the slave of the 25K PDT rule requirement. Now, by the way, in our courses, we show you how you can trade multiple trades. Okay, if you really wanted to, you have to know which instruments to actually trade, even if you don't have 25K account. Okay, but most of the guys that do have the 25K account, oh, by the way, and I don't mean just setting up a cash account. Clearly, everybody knows you can avoid the PDT by setting up a cash account, but that's not what I meant. So, bottom line, if you do have exactly 25K in your account and you're like, man, let me take this trade, and this trade is going against you or something, you start to freak the fuck out because now the account is under 25K. And again, the reason I'm calling you this slave of the 25K PDT rule because you're so focused on what? On the money. You're so focused on that magic number of 25K, you're afraid to let a possibly really lucrative trade that could potentially take your account from 25K to 45K. You're cutting that trade when you're down $500 or $1,000 or $1,500 just because. Okay, now your account is at 24. Oh my God, it's dropping to 23.5. Oh fuck, I'm gonna have to add money to the account. Okay, so you're so damn focused on this 25K. Okay, you're actually missing the real stuff that you need to be focusing on. So, I mean, Leonardo, you're saying I shouldn't be worried about the 25K? Damn right, I'm saying stop worrying about the 25K. As a matter of fact, I'm about to give you solutions for some of these guys, all of these are psychological fears that every trader is dealing with, okay? On one end, if your account is under 25K, you're like, man, let me get to 25. I could just get to 25. If you're at 25, you're like, fuck, Jesus, please don't let me drop under 25. Let me finish the day at 25. Guys, it's a fucking problem. You're focusing on the wrong thing, okay? So typical trader, guys, you know, deals with these emotions, okay? If you got 30K in the account, okay, fine, you got a little bit of a cushion, but maybe, you know, you went aggressive right at 9:30 in the morning at the bell ring, and you're like, man, whew, that trade, I shouldn't have taken that trade. Now you're getting too close to 25K. Then you start freaking out too. Well, I can't drop below 25. Oh no, this trade is going against me. Gotta get out. Oh shit, 24.9. Damn it, I gotta add $100 to the account. How the hell did this happen? Not today. Not again! So if you're going for all these emotions, guys, you really need to address the root of it, and the root of it is fear. The root that is driving a trader, whether your account is at 2, 4, or 10K, or whether your account is at 25K, you're focusing on the wrong thing. You're focusing on the wrong thing because the root of that focus is the fear. And the only way to deal with this is, number one, to acknowledge the fact that there is a great deal of fear present in your trading. And you cannot accomplish great results in anything in life if you're driven by fear. So you've got to conquer the fear. And I'm actually going to specifically lay out a plan of how you can do this. You can conquer that fear. Okay, so again, this main issue, I mean, this is how stupid it is, right? If you're at 5K, you want to get to 25K. If you're at 25K, you're so afraid to go below the 25K. Both of these circumstances are driven by fear. Now notice, this may be sounding contradictory, okay, but it is driven by fear because you're not thinking like, okay, this 5K, like we got a bunch of traders that took, $2,000, or like, look, you watched the last video, right, where we had Jay. He took $1,800, he invested $1,800 in the trade and cashed out at 45K. So, I mean, do you see what I'm trying to explain to you here? 5K in certain instances, if you calculate your move in the trade, could turn into 50K. I've shown you this on this channel many, many times, again and again and again. But imagine if I just focused on that number of 25. 45K ever to 144K, which I have shown you how I've done this before. Okay, if you didn't watch that video, guys, find this video on this channel. I'll put a link somewhere. But basically, if all you're focused in is, okay, let me just get to 25 to 25 to 25K, you're going to miss out a potential where a really well-calculated trade like Roku puts that we had a lot of traders benefit in the group from, they didn't invest a ton of money. They didn't invest 100K to make, 50K. They all invested anywhere from 2 to 7K to get back, $40,000 to $80,000 back. So what if they just focused, oh, I got to get to 25K. I got to get to 25K. And yes, some of them had accounts that were bigger than 25K. But imagine if you were a part of this trade and you didn't have a 25K account, if all you were focusing on, let me just get to 25K, well, you would have never gotten to 45K. You would have never gotten to 65K. So again, you would have left a lot of money on the table on a trade that was very well calculated, and you would be doing it because of what? The root of this is fear, okay? So if you're 25K, same circumstances, the root of you jumping out of good trades is because you're so afraid to go below 25K. So what do we do with this situation? So as a result, guys, in either case, doesn't matter where your account is, in some instances, I think it is actually a blessing for somebody to have a 4 or 5K account because they're not able to take a ton of day trades. Because honestly, the number one reason most of the day traders lose money is because they trade every fucking day and they take too many damn trades. So stop doing that. If you think I'm speaking to you right now, if you're taking too many damn trades on a single day, stop now. Schedule a 20-minute coaching call. Talk to a coach. Guys, we've helped a ton of guys change their trading for good, okay? And we can help you. So as a result, okay, if you're driven by fear, despite of where your account size is, okay, this is the main issue. When you're driven by fear, you're destined to make stupid emotional mistakes. So the only way to avoid doing this, making these stupid emotional mistakes, is to address the fear. And here's the recipe on how you can address the fear. So there's a practical recommendations, guys. So number one situation a lot of traders are dealing with, they keep looking at their P&L. Stop looking at your fucking P&L every damn 5 minutes. Stop, okay? Which you just close it, okay? Like if you're on your trading screen on your desktop, you can go in that little corner, you can just close your account size. So stop focusing on that, okay? Focus on the actual trade. And in order to focus on the actual trade, you need, to execute on point number 2, which you need to learn to calculate the moves and specifics of your trade. So instead of focusing on the P&L, you need to be focusing on the type of move you're trading. You need to be focusing on the levels of your trade. You need to be focusing on when it makes sense, at what time frame of the day to exit the trade or to add to the trade. You need to focus on managing your trade. Look, especially if you're trading stocks that are highly volatile, which is exactly what you want to trade. If you're trading directional options, if you're trading weekly options, you want to trade highly volatile stocks. Well, by definition, highly volatile stock, if we're trading a $500 stock, it could go against you with an instance, $5, $10 against you. So you're faced with a decision. Do you add? Do you sell? Do you get out? Do you cut your loss? Oh shit, you already got kicked out of your trade because you got that stupid stop loss in there. Okay? Guys, if you're still trading high volatility stocks with weekly options, you're putting stop losses, I guarantee you, you will never ever catch a great trade, like great trade meaning 1,000%, 2,000, 3,000%. Because you will instantly get kicked out at the worst possible moment if you're putting a stop loss. So if you're not sure how to deal with that sort of situation, guys, we can help you with that. Click the link below and schedule a 20-minute coaching call. Now, these are the basics right here. So stop looking at your P&L and focus on the trade. Focus on the specifics of the trade. And so if you're new, you probably wonder, okay, well, what are these specifics of the trade? So let me break this down a little bit further for you. Okay, so specifics of the trade. Number one, start with the move. As you know, there's 13 market moves, okay? And you have to understand how these moves are developing and by which time of the day, okay, we can eliminate a number of moves. So you can basically, it's a very simple process. If you understand all 13 moves, by 10:21 a.m., guys, it's a beautiful thing. You can eliminate 10 of the 13 moves by 10:21 a.m. So that just leaves you with trading 3 moves for the rest of the day. This is how fucking simple this is. Okay? So clearly, if you don't understand, maybe you understand what a move 3 is or what a move 7 is, but you don't really understand how these moves develop intraday. I mean, you're trading like a blind bet. Okay, you think like, oh shit, it's dropping. There's gotta be a fucking move 3. Oh fuck, it's turning around. Oh shit. Okay, guys, get the specifics. Each move has certain behaviors and characteristics, and if you struggle with identifying the time frames of the day by which some of these moves, okay, can be eliminated, and you're trying to trade all 13 without eliminating majority of them, you're costing yourself money. It's as simple as that. So by eliminating majority of the moves, you get to focus only on just 2 or 3 moves that could still develop through the rest of the day. And that makes your game, your trading game, so much simpler, so much more precise and accurate. So if you're not at that point yet, you've got to click the link below and get more information on that. So number 2, you've got to identify the magnitude of the move. Okay, it's very critical. Every day, guys, the market is gonna move higher, lower, okay? So I never understand the people that just want to be bullish all the damn time. As you know, we make a ton of money on calls. We make a lot more money on puts, as we just demonstrated with the Roku put trade, while the whole world was freaking bullish on Roku. We were shorting the hell out of it. Okay, and that was a 2,500% trade. Now, identifying the magnitude of the move. So, for example, when we got into the Roku at about 472, 462 area, and kept adding puts before the drop to happen. That day when we initiated the position, okay, Roku was dropping by the end of the day by 30 points. So why would you not take profits there? How do you identify that it actually made sense to stay with that trade? Well, in this case, guys, it's super simple if you understand the moves, right? If you understand the specifics of the trade. Point 1 I just made, it's identifying the moves. It was a very simple sequence, guys. It was a move 2 on Monday in Roku, followed by move 3 on Tuesday. And the market was making an identical move. So it's a 2-3 sequence. It is the sequence that gets you paid. So if you just learn the moves and you hunt for these 2/3 sequences, okay, these are going to be your most profitable trades. And clearly, if you don't understand, you know, what a 2, what a 3, how are they connected, how often could the sequence could come up, then you've got to, guys, it's just lack of understanding, and the fear will kill your fucking account. So don't let it happen to you. Get the information that you need today. Don't wait another day. So identifying the magnitude of the move. Every day the market is going to move higher, lower. Your goal as a trader is to identify the intraday lows and highs. And the only way you can really do that is you got to turn off CNBC, turn off Bloomberg, fuck them. They're not going to help you become a profitable trader, okay? You need to focus on charts and patterns. It's the charts and patterns and the divergences on some of these charts and patterns that will help you nail the lows and the highs of the day. And in certain instances, the move in the market, the bigger move in the market, so for example, if the market opens 20 points higher and then it reverses and it drops by 10, 15, 10, 30, 80 points, then it's pretty safe to assume that the probability of it dropping another 100 points for the rest of the day is not going to be very good. So you basically understand that for that particular day, the bigger part of the move is done. It's gone, especially if the move was initiated in the prior day and it had a continuation, such as the 2-3 sequence. So understanding that is super important for you in identifying, in helping you identify these daily intraday high and lows, because certain patterns will literally point to the fact that this is the low of the day. That's it, okay? You see that first green candle after the market's been dropping and dropping, boom. You know it's time to scale out of your position. You know it's time to sell. So if you watch this student videos on how they were making a kill in a Roku, you notice that we nailed the bottom in Roku for a reason, because it was the pattern. It was the chart pattern that specifically told us that the magnitude of the move was finished. It was done. And what Roku does for the rest of the week, it goes a little bit higher, a little bit lower, a little bit higher, a little bit lower. But because of the way options are priced, it's absolutely impossible to make and repeat that 2,500% return, because you had to get on the put side when the stock was at 470, 465 area, and then cash out the next day at 386, 388 area. And in order to identify that, you needed to know the pattern that was pointing to the bottom in Roku the following morning. And so these chart patterns, divergences, okay, understanding these chart patterns is going to help you identify these intraday reversals, because a lot of traders, they've recorded this this trade for you to explain it in their own words. But what they also didn't tell you is when we nailed the bottom in Roku, we also shifted into calls. In the alert group, I was sending out, hey, cash out of Roku, buy Roku calls. And so we actually caught the next move in Roku right after we cashed out big on the put side. We actually caught a call trade on Roku and briefly just jumped like 20, 30 bucks. And it was another highly profitable trade. So chart patterns is what's going to allow you, and chart patterns, guys, they're highly, highly repetitive. So if you learn to recognize them, if you learn to recognize these patterns, these bottoming patterns, these stopping patterns, guys, it's not just when the whole market decides to go down. It's not just when the whole market decides to bottom, like we pointed out the bottom last year in March, April, while everybody was still highly bearish. We said buy calls, and everybody was like, are you fucking nuts? And so we've nailed the bottom, guys. And the reason we nailed the bottom is because we understand this chart patterns. They're highly repetitive. What most of the traders don't think about is these chart patterns, they happen every day. You can identify in different stock a particular topping pattern on a 1 day, 1 minute chart, or a particular bottoming pattern in a particular stock on a 1 day, 1 minute chart. If you understand how these chart patterns look, you're going to be unstoppable. And that's just the bottom line. And you're going to be unstoppable because instead of focusing on the fucking money, you're focusing on the mechanics of the trade. You're focusing on the reasons why you got into the trade, what level you're entering, what level you're exiting, what patterns you're watching, what reversal type of setups you're watching in order to get out timely or add to the position. So that's the kind of stuff you need to be focusing on. And third, as far as the specifics of the trade, guys, you've got to master the behavioral conditions, okay? And certain behavioral conditions, they're really tied and ingrained with these 13 market moves because each move represents a certain behavior in the market, okay? And so the behavioral patterns, they're incredibly important, and we can break them down on just 4 basic categories for you. And so for example, if first solar is dropping, well, there's a good probability that Solar Edge is dropping too, SEDG, right? So why? Well, because they're in the solar group, they're within the same group. So they're highly correlated. If one thing drops, the other one is going to drop too. Maybe not by exact percentage point, but overall correlation is going to be there. So the behavioral patterns, they can be within a certain group, okay? They can be within the market. So certain stocks are highly correlated to a certain index. Some stocks are correlated to what Dow Jones is doing. Some stocks are correlated to NASDAQ. Some stocks highly correlated to S&P. So noticing the shift in behavior. For example, the market maybe was super, super bullish right out of the get-go when the market opened, and then it starts fading. Okay, understanding that, it gives you 2 possibilities. It's going to be a move 7 or a move 2. And you can literally nail that by 12 o'clock and trade the correct move. And so that's where the shift in behavior and noticing that shift in behavior could impact you exiting the trade earlier that you initially planned, or on top, maybe add more to the position. So watching the key behavioral characteristics within the group of a particular stock that you're trading, watching the behavioral characteristics within the market itself to which the stock you're trading is highly tied and correlated to. And this one is super important. behavioral changes within the volume. So in certain instances, the volume just dies out. And so if the volume dies out at 11, 12 o'clock, and the market is coinciding with being traded at the top of the day, and you look at the chart pattern and you see, hold on, this resembles a head and shoulder, guys, it pretty much guarantees you it's a move 11. And if you understand what a move 11 is, you can certainly trade it with high accuracy. So paying attention to behavioral changes in the volume, sometimes in some of the biggest bullish days, the volume is not going to be changing crazy. It's just going to be steady. It's just going to be steady, steady, steady. It could be higher than the prior day, but every, 5, 10 points, the market moves. It maybe gives back 3, 4 points, and then it keeps moving higher. And it just keeps repeating that through the day. Guys, that's a move 1, okay? And so the key characteristic of a move 1 is just really steady. There's no huge dips. There's nothing going on. And so if something basically runs as a move 1 through, 2, 3 p.m., and then all of a sudden you see huge red candle coming in on huge volume, that tells you, hold on, there is a behavioral shift in the volume going into the close. So what you may want to do is you may want to trade as what I've shown you in my last trading live video that I posted, taking 20K to 60K, guys. I only traded the last hour of the trading session just to prove a point that understanding the volume characteristics and understanding what move you're trading, guys, within an hour, 20K to 60K. The truth is, if you understand these key behavioral characteristics in the volume, you can do it too. And the most overlooked aspect of the trade mechanics that you should be paying attention to is developing divergences. So, for example, the market keeps going higher, but all of a sudden VIX is also beginning to move higher. VIX shouldn't be moving higher if the market moves higher. So understanding that a key pivotal TRO, trend reversal opportunity, is about to present itself and noticing some key divergences is going to help you to be just a step ahead of the market and know exactly what to do with your trade. But see, you can't be doing all of this. It's all you're focused on. Oh, where's my P&L for the day? Oh, shit. Oh, man, I got to get out. Oh, I can't be losing this much. Oh, fuck. Or you can't be doing the opposite, which is like, oh man, hell yeah, I made $1,000. It's time to get out. And then later you're looking at your account like, fuck, I could have made 30,000. I can't believe I just made 1,000. So you can't be focusing on the money if you want to be a successful trader. You got to focus on what makes successful traders, and that is focusing on the mechanics of the trade, guys. If you focus on the mechanics of the trade, the levels, the moves, the key signs of behavioral changes throughout the day, okay, the money will follow. Just start focusing on the right stuff. And with that, I just want to invite you guys to visit 13marketmoves.com, 13mmtv.com. And guys, yes, we shorted the hell out of Roku, but you can actually begin to watch our videos on Roku. So if you're set up on Roku, you can lay back and relax. And we're going to start posting videos there. I think the channel has been set up. So enjoy watching us on Roku. And guys, if you have any questions, or if some of these subjects that I've tried to touch in this video briefly, if you want to get an in-depth knowledge, if you have any questions about how to progress from here, if you want to face your fears and begin to trade fearlessly, it starts with a 20-minute coaching call, which you can easily do and schedule one. It doesn't cost you a penny. You will get some useful information you'll be able to use before the market opens tomorrow. So don't wait another day. Face your fears. Focus on the right stuff. And you will change the destiny of your trading account starting tomorrow. So stop fucking losing. Let's make some real fucking money. Let's roll. Schedule a call. Click the link below. I'll catch you in the next video soon. Let's go.